Hello and welcome to another live session with Vodafone. Now, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm going to hazard a guess here and say that is probably all of you, my name is Lucy Hedges. I'm the technology editor for the Metro newspaper and someone who you might occasionally see talking tech and travel on the BBC. So it is my great pleasure to be in the host hot seat. Now, today we are taking a deeper dive into Vodafone engineering. We're going to meet some of the team who are going to share some of their stories and their incredible experiences as part of Team Vodafone. Now, many of us will know Vodafone as a traditional mobile operator or a broadband provider, but Vodafone is so much more than that. You know, Vodafone Technology is now made up of 34,000 people, all working on some really innovative, impactful projects that are making their impact and presence known all across the planet. Now, as digital connectivity continues to grow by up to 50% each year, Vodafone is significantly expanding its software capabilities, and by 2025, more than 50% of all employees within Vodafone Technology will work in software engineering. So that's some impressive spec there, some impressive figures. So on that note, I think I should introduce my lovely guests for today. So without further ado, let's meet Anna Pasparan and Pamela Sarkisyan. So ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How are you?
Really excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So I think a great place to start is by getting you guys to just tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you do at Vodafone.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Anna Maria Pasparan and I'm an engineer manager at Vodafone UK. As an engineer manager, I'm doing a lot of things from supporting our engineers with designing software to leading interviews and helping our software engineers to grow their career.
So you sound like you have a very multifaceted and very fun job. So lots of fun. So it's really nice to meet you guys. Anna, can you tell us a little bit about Vodafone engineering as a whole? You know, where are you based? Are there various functions that make up the team? Basically, we'd love to get a bigger picture, a better idea of how you work.
Yeah, sure. So Vodafone engineering is an identity that just combines all our engineers across multiple markets, and we work together more efficiently by just collaborating more. We transform the way we work together, making engineering more easier and more efficient. So we are based in 26 markets, and some of them are UK, Albania, Romania, Italy, Spain, Greece, and a lot more. Vodafone engineering is part of our strategy, 5-year strategy, to bring all engineers together under one tech team, which is just amazing. And we work across a huge number of project teams and different initiatives. And at the core of our business is our fixed and mobile network, as many of you know. But on top of that, we build a lot of IoT technology and a lot of software.
Yeah, so that's a lot of territories to be in. So Vodafone's really making its presence felt around the world, and by also at the forefront of a lot of new and innovative technology as well. Lots of varied projects and programs. So Pamela, what are the engineering team's key focus areas and objectives?
Okay, so as a company and tech community, we are focused on improving life for customers and also strengthening communities. We're focused on creating prototypes and also building solutions to allow Vodafone to keep innovating its products and services. Our team designs some omni-channel and digital-first initiatives, and I specifically work very closely with markets to help them deliver the best app possible. We help Vodafone deliver in a common way, which means we are reusing as much as possible to an aligned development standards.
Yeah. So can you give us a few examples of projects that you guys are working on right now?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm working on our content management system platform. And what this platform does is practically the magic that enables our content editors to create, edit, and remove content from our websites and app, just to offer our customers the best experience, a dynamic experience on our websites and apps through the most up-to-date content. We've made the first step in using this platform in UK, and we are looking into rolling it out globally, so all our customers across the globe can actually benefit from this, new content updated in one click.
Yeah. So it's about taking the technology and the projects that you're working on, sharing them with other territories, so you guys are all unified and on the same page, essentially. Yeah. So can you share more about how you develop these solutions? You know, is it all in-house? Do you have partnerships with the wider tech community globally?
Yeah, sure. So we do most of our software in-house, and nothing would be possible without the help of our colleagues from Voice, Accenture, Deloitte, and many other companies that help us to deliver those projects. And all our technology is React on the front end and Java on the back end, but many more in between to help us deliver more efficiently. And in terms of how we do that, everything in, at least at the web, starts with our web manifesto, which is like a guide for all our engineers to align across all our markets and how to deliver that software more efficiently. And we have regular guild meetings that will help us to share and see what we can reuse from all those markets and just like make it more efficient. And about the web manifesto, we actually spoke about at React Summit this year. So we're going to share a link at the end of this session for everyone to watch it. And there are a lot of other projects we spoke about in this workshop. And on top of that, we are building everything with our customer experience in mind. So what we want is what we put in front of our customers to be tested and at the top performance. So to do that, we use tools like Applitool, which is a really performant cloud testing solution about which my colleagues David and Ben have spoken into a workshop. I'm going to share the link at the end of this session with everyone to watch it.
Yeah. So it really is a team effort at Vodafone, not just about the kind of in-house team in Vodafone, but utilising technology and people from different companies to have that unified, bigger picture to move forward. Now, I appreciate, I just realised that I was a bit eager with my question, and I missed asking you about what projects you're working on right now. So before you answer the question I just asked, let's go back to that question. And just, Pamela, just tell us about some of the projects that you're working on right now.
Of course, yeah. So I'm a software developer in digital channels, and I work on my Vodafone app development team. My main focus is on DevOps and automation. But in terms of what we work on right now, so we work mainly on the application, which is available in most app stores and is the place where customer can check their bills, upgrade plans, also get reward and manage their account. But we work on external but also internal projects, and I had the opportunity to work on a few in the past. So, for example, a graduate onboarding application, which is for new joiners in Vodafone, and it's to provide them with some key information and steps that they need to take once they join the company. As part of this project, I was working with and also mentoring some graduates in both UK and Ireland. And help them to deliver the application. Yeah. Another project was also an event application for our internal yearly conference, and it was there to provide key agenda, key information, also book sessions and real-time notifications. Both of these applications were delivered very quickly because we managed to reuse the capabilities that our team have already built.
Yeah, such fantastic examples of projects. And what I loved about talking to you guys now about the projects you're working on is just the smiles beaming out of you, the passion that clearly is inside you, and the sheer love of working for Vodafone because it's offering you guys so many opportunities and experiences and development. So now going back to the other question, talk to me about how you're developing these solutions. Like I said, is it all in-house, or do you have partnerships with the wider tech community globally?
Okay, so like Anna was mentioning before, we work with adopting inner source development strategy, which is basically establishing an open source like culture inside Vodafone. This way it helps us to increase reusability, strengthen communities and break down silos. It also helps us deliver much faster and more common products across the business. Of course, to develop the solutions internally, we need the right people equipped with the right skills.
Absolutely.
So there are a few initiatives within the company to help expand the people's knowledge in the areas they're interested in. For example, I recently joined a DevOps engineering program, which will run for 9 months. And it's there to basically go through all the tool sets and skills that you need for the role. there is also a similar program which is for 6 months and is for AWS cloud engineers.
Yeah.
Both of these programs, they are part-time, so you can still do your day-to-day activities but still learn at the same time.
Yeah.
There is assessment and some live sessions, so you can get a certification at the end.
Wow.
We've also opened a R&D in Malaga, which will specialize in developing new technologies and digital services based on unified communication, IoT, edge computing, mobile private networks, and Open RAN. It is equipped with our latest Vodafone 5G and ultra-fast fiber connectivity.
So development is ultimately really at the heart, really at the crux of what Vodafone does, not just for the technologies, which we're talking about, these kind of innovative technologies that Vodafone's really pumping a lot of energy into, but as an employee, you know, you guys have really looked after, nurtured and helped throughout your career to grow. And I think that's so important within any company. So it's really nice to hear how Vodafone is moving forward with that. And it really does sound like innovation is just at the heart of everything you do. So Anna, you mentioned the React Summit, a couple of questions back. Now, as far as I know, the React Summit is, you know, like a veritable playground for engineers. You guys get to rub shoulders, pick each other's brains, of like-minded individuals, and it must have been so good just to be at an event with actual people again. So could you tell us a little bit more about this experience and what it meant to you to be there as an engineer?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, it was just an amazing experience just to be there. And as you mentioned, the first kind of live in-person event after a while. And for me was like starting from just meeting my colleagues from different markets face to face. So we do spoke a lot, you know, online, but it's not the same as face to face. And just speaking with them and building those relations that will just help us with our geographical scale. And then like just meeting a lot of engineers that are like so smart engineers. They're like picking their brain on our UI components library, which you'll see in our React workshop. Just like speaking with them about the challenges we have rolling that globally and just seeing that they had the same challenges and going through like how we actually overcome those challenges and how we you know went and implementing it. And then just like Vodafone sponsoring the event, but us being there at the event just meant for us engineers, we are a really important part of Vodafone and just being there. And I know for sure we're going to be at more events soon.
Yeah. And, you know, when you work at a company, that's what you want. You want to feel important. The work that you're doing is beneficial to the company. And when you go to places and you're representing your company, you want to feel important and you want to know that the work you're doing is being noticed and appreciated. And it really does sound like your work is not going unnoticed. So what about you, Pamela? In your time at Vodafone, what projects have been, you know, the most memorable or any that you're particularly proud of?
So one of my proudest moments was and still is the growth of our development team and especially the expansion of our React Native team. We started with just a couple of developers and now we have over 70 developers in the team. We started on the cross-platform journey back in 2019. Cross-platform is basically the process where we develop a mobile application for multiple platforms like iOS and Android, but using a single technology framework.
Yeah.
We evaluated a few frameworks that were available at the time, and we decided to go ahead with React Native as our strategic solution. Back then, we didn't have anyone in the team that had experience in React Native. So what I started with was a very simple Hello World application, then moved towards implementing a loading application, and then finally we integrated a very simple dashboard. But don't worry, it has improved since then, and now actually our React Native components are one of the most popular with the market, and we have markets like Germany, Czech, Ireland, Albania, Romania, and even Ghana. They are using our components as a base for their customer-facing application.
Yeah.
Vodafone really promotes its experiment, and it's really supporting the learning fast culture here, which really supports us with trying out new things and thinking outside of the box.
Yeah, I think that just kind of echoes what we were talking about just a few minutes ago, you know, just this real push for development and, you know, getting people to maybe step outside their comfort zone, but supporting them in their journey as well, which is really, really refreshing to hear. You know, that technology sounds like it's been on quite the transformation. It's been on quite the journey. So can you share a bit more on what life is like more generally at Vodafone? You know, is the culture everything that you expected when you walked through those doors?
To be honest, no. I'm quite new to Vodafone. I joined early this year, and I did expect some kind of like corporation mindset. But then I walked through those doors, as you said, and it's just like I was surprised in a good way that we are transparent, we collaborate, we share a lot, and we just like build everything together.
Yeah.
And what's really important is engineers do own everything end to end in that process. So it's just like amazing how everything, you know, comes together as a team. And one thing I do think is really important is like we do still have our customers at the heart of everything we do. So we do move fast in engineering, but we want to be safe and make sure what we put in front of our customers is the right thing. So we use a lot of feature flagging to develop more fast and just enable when it's ready for the customers to see. So we just like collaborate a lot and just like own the whole process.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know, I love the fact that taking on this job exceeded all your expectations. That can only be such a positive thing, right? And I think that's the kind of benefit of doing something like this, is letting the world know that there's so much more to Vodafone than what you might think, you know? It's a lot more going on behind the scenes. What about you, Pamela?
So I've been with Vodafone for 5.5 years, starting as a Discover graduate back in 2016. What really surprised me when I joined is that a lot of the graduates, they came from non-technical backgrounds. However, they were willing to learn and adapt within their roles. They had the problem-solving mindset and passion for technology. Vodafone really supports that. So as part of the graduate scheme, we get to work in 3 different rotations in different parts of the business, which means that you get to experience different ways of working and different technologies. What is really good there is that you get to work on real life solutions, working with different technology frameworks. You get to work in teams that are working on solutions you might not have heard of before, but the team will really support you on your learning path. And you never know, that could be the thing that it actually is of your interest.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely encourage anyone that has some passion in technology to join Vodafone. In my time here, it's been truly amazing, and it's always been very supportive. It's been about my interest and my passion, so I've been grateful to work on such great projects and teams.
Yeah, yeah. So once again, just another fantastic example of Vodafone really nurturing, really supporting people with the development of their career. And 2 very significantly different journeys. We've got a newbie over here, someone who's been here for around 5 years. So thank you for sharing that. Now, could you tell us a little bit more about how you were supported throughout your time at Vodafone? You know, are there communities or learning initiatives that you might have been a part of? Tell us a bit about that.
Sure. So I've been part of an initiative called Code Like a Girl, which is basically a free coding workshop for girls aged 14 to 18. This program has been launched in many countries around the world, and I was one of the teachers actually in the initial launch, which was here in London.
Yeah.
So it's been great and really rewarding and exciting opportunity. The workshop focused on teaching the girls the web development, the basics of it, including HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Especially having a daughter at home, I really get to value these initiatives for young girls.
Yeah.
And also knowing that there is a shortage of girls in STEM. It's been making me very proud to be part of initiatives that are there to support the next generation of female engineers, as well as the inclusive policies that we have here in Vodafone, which allows us to spend valuable time with our families.
Yeah, yeah. So it's such an important thing at the minute, you know, girls, STEM, kind of pushing more into that. So it's really great to hear that Vodafone's putting that at the top of its agenda. And I can tell by just the way you were talking about it, it was a fantastic project to work on. So I'm sure you must be very proud to be part of that. Now, you touched upon inclusive policies just now. So can you give us a few examples of these, or any in particular that you've personally found beneficial?
Sure. So we all know that family is important, and Vodafone's way of working and policies are providing amazing support for families. For example, the maternity and parental leave are a proof of that, because it provides you with a minimum of 16 weeks in the first 18 months once you welcome a new addition to your family, and that's regardless of the parent's gender, orientation, or length of service. As a parent, the flexibility of policies like this and the flexible working really helps us to juggle with the daily life.
Yeah, and you know, inclusivity is something that's really at the forefront of a lot of company agendas right now. But I think from an employee perspective, it's just really fantastic to know that you are supported regardless of, like you say, your background, your sexuality, your ethnicity, all those kind of things. It's really interesting and quite refreshing to hear that Vodafone is putting this at the top of the agenda. So a great company culture is, definitely top of mind for a lot of professionals. But what does career progression look like at Vodafone, Anna?
Yeah, so we actually have a platform called Grow with Vodafone that helps us with that career progression. And this platform has AI behind, so it just recommends you personalized training to help you with that progression. And I've actually recently used it to just brush my skills on interviews and AWS. But in terms of how we actually formalize the progression, we have an amazing team working on a technical career path that's going to be rolled out across all our markets that will support everyone from leaders to specialists, no matter of their seniority in the level, to just see what opportunities they have to actually grow within the technology, which is a really vast domain. And in UK, we have a framework for career progression that's it's helping everyone engineering from associate to engineer manager, principal engineer, which is really a hot role this time. Yeah. And just to put a bit of formality in terms of how you actually can just go and progress from one level to another, just supports with that progression. And just in the last year, we've promoted 8 engineers just in our team in UK.
And I think it's really great to hear something like that, because in any role, you want an incentive, and you need to know that the work you're doing isn't going unnoticed and you are going to be able to move up the ladder. So it's really great to hear that Vodafone offers those incentives, which I think will be a massive bonus to anyone coming into this company. And I'm sure that will resonate with everybody watching. So what's next for Vodafone Engineering, Anna? We're all eager to know what we can expect from Vodafone in the future. So tell us.
Yeah, so we were working a lot of domains, so from IoT technologies to optimize the agricultural yield to actually smart cities and everything in between that. And I don't know if you have any fans, tennis fans with us, but at Wimbledon this year, Vodafone not just sponsored the championship, but we actually helped the Hewlett farm with growing the strawberries that were served at the championship. And I don't know if you've been there to see, but those strawberries, not just that they grew enough of them for everyone there, but they were way tastier because of our IoT technologies and the technology going behind that. So it's a lot coming up for us.
Yeah, well, I was actually at Wimbledon and I tasted those strawberries and they were very delicious. But what I find interesting about that is, this is a classic example of a technology that people might not necessarily associate with Vodafone, but it's definitely at the forefront of this innovative technology, and it's doing incredible things and will continue to do incredible things. So I think that's a really, really good example. And before we move on, I just want to ask, are Vodafone doing anything in the area, in the realm of well-being, mental health? This is such an interesting and hot topic at the minute. So tell us a little bit about that.
It's so funny, just asking me now, because in about a week and a half, we're going to have our Vodafone Spirit Day, which is a day we have every quarter to focus on a lot of things, from working with our colleagues, but just also to focus on our well-being and mental health, and just step back and have that day focusing on ourselves. And just having that every quarter is just amazing, because it's always there for us. And it's just I can't wait for that day to just come and just use it, to just work with my colleagues on some technologies that I don't usually work on, so something innovation and everything that we can come up with new ideas. So it's a lot of focus on that.
Yeah, I love to hear that. That is fantastic. I think my company needs to start introducing some of those days. And lastly for me, ladies, how can people find out more?
Sure. To find out more, please visit our Vodafone Engineering website, and also the career page has a dedicated section for our engineering team. You can also use it to find out more about the latest vacancies and roles, and you can even upload your CV to be automatically matched to the jobs that are matching your CV.
Yeah. Well, on that note, ladies, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me. It's been so good picking your brain and just hearing your experiences and just how passionate and happy you are to be part of Team Vodafone. I love to hear it. So a big thank you to Pamela and Anna, and of course, a massive thank you to all of you who have tuned in. Now, for more information on Vodafone Engineering, check out the Vodafone Engineering website. The link is in the comments right now. All that's left for me to say is, once again, thank you to my fantastic guest. Thank you to you guys, and have a great afternoon.